My name is Zach Crawford, and this is my story. So at 19 years old, I was in good physical shape. I worked as a post office contractor, and I had a nice car, a nice motorcycle, my credit rating was perfect, and I was on top of the world. June 11th, 2006 turned my life upside down. Around 10:30 p.m. at night, my friend called me. He wanted to go for a motorcycle ride. 5 minutes later, I'm down the road riding, and I'm the only one on the road. There's no one around. I don't see any lights. A few minutes later, I'm feeling this intense pain, excruciating pain, and all I can see is bright lights. A 16-year-old drunk driver hit me, going 80 miles an hour. I flipped over the back of the car as it hit me. By the time that I stopped rolling, I was facing head-on in ongoing traffic with lights coming at me. It all happened so fast, I didn't even know what was happening.
Zach's depression basically started after the accident. His friends, his girlfriend were not emotionally mature enough to deal with him being bedridden, and they just didn't come around. The real indication that he was in a deep depression was that the doctor said he was asking for stronger pain medication. So I hid the medication and basically slept on the couch every night because I was afraid he would overdose.
For me, the worst part of the whole experience was hearing the doctor tell me that I would carry this disability in my legs for the rest of my life. For the next couple years of my life, it really consisted of lots of drinking, partying, and honestly doing a lot of things that I'm not proud of to this day. Accumulated a lot of debt, and I really put myself in a massive financial hole. Early 2010, I was a really negative person to be around. In fact, I wouldn't have been my own friend. The bills were just stacking up on the kitchen table. Working 50 plus hours a week at a dead-end job was killing me, and I was completely losing control. I don't know how I got this low. One night, I loaded my Colt 1911, and I pressed the gun to my head. And I remember that my dog was staring at me intently. She knew I was about to do something bad. And that was when the guilt really set in. And I knew that by doing this was going to affect my parents. And I realized I was being selfish. I just couldn't do it.
He said, I don't want to die, but that's all I think about is killing myself. I need help. You need to help me. So the very next day, I called my doctor, and he gave me a doctor for him to see. And luckily, that doctor knew enough to check for different things, and he found that it was a thyroid condition, which can cause severe depression besides all of the physical problems that it can cause.
It was at this point that I made that decision that I was going to make a real change in my life. I could do more. And I knew I could be somebody. I was on a mission to get in better shape and better health than I'd ever been in my life. The doctor told me that I couldn't do it, and that was really all the motivation that I needed. In a matter of about 2 months, I literally transformed overnight. I was working out like a beast, eating right, and my health was back on track. But I was still at my dead-end job, and my finances were shit. So I did what most people do, and I went to Google and typed in how to make money online. For roughly 2 years, I pretty much just bought every information product I could get my hands on. And I did start to make a little bit of money, $1 here, $10 there, but nothing to write home to mom about. I was still suffering from depression. My day job was literally sucking the life out of me, and the creditors were, at this point, trying to garnish my wages. I'd really been listening to a lot of motivational speakers, the type that, makes you feel good and living a more fulfilled life. One message really struck a chord with me, and that was to burn your boats and chase your dreams. I called my dad that day, and I basically told him I'm quitting. I put in my 2 weeks notice, I sold everything I owned, and I bought a one-way ticket to the Philippines. I honestly had no real plan other than just to build a web-based business and to get out of debt.
Over the next 2 years, Zach was like an emotional roller coaster with extreme highs and extreme lows. And we would talk almost every day on Skype because he couldn't come home. At one time, when I wouldn't let him come home, he actually cussed me out and wouldn't talk to me for 2 days. And I wasn't going to let him quit because I wasn't actually going to let him give up on himself.
My first real success was launching my first information product that I made over 30 grand. And that was my real aha moment that if I stuck with this, it could actually change my life. What's funny is, after I actually had the success with that product launch, I lost all that money. And it was really because I made bad business decisions, but it was like, all right, let's go with this again.
In December 2013, Zach called me and said he was wanting to invest in a new business. And he told me that he was going to make $30,000 in the next 30 days. And I'll be honest, I didn't really believe it, but I could see the fire in his eyes. And so I told him to go for it. Actually, in about 45 days, he made more than that. And the reason being was because Zach worked around the clock because he was on a mission to come home on that 2-year anniversary.
Shortly after I had, a little bit of success, I shifted my real focus to people first and profit second. And that was the real equation to skyrocketing my income. At that point, I started doing $20,000, $30,000, $50,000, and even $70,000 in a single month.
When Zach started doing really well, he bought me a new car and he moved us into this new house.
For me, it's not about the money I've made or the material things that I can purchase. It's the person I become in the process.
I'm not just saying this because he's my son, because I've seen him help a lot of people, and I know if they'll follow what Zach teaches to do, it could be possible for them to do it too, and because I've seen it happen time and time again.
When I started getting success, I really just started blogging, doing videos and webinars and posting everything I knew on social media freely.
What I was able to do was I was able to earn my first $1,000 online in 2012. And then went on to my first $5,000, $10 a month. And nowadays, I'm on a 6-figure plus income. And if there is one person who I can track it all back to, it would be Zach Crawford.
Just really want to say thank you to Zach Crawford for getting me into the office that I'm in today. I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for Zach.
He's a man of integrity. He's pulled himself up from the depths of despair. He does exactly what he says he's going to do, which you never see that in the online marketing world. Everybody talks a big game, but when it's time to cash in, you can't find him, He's just a really great guy.
I really feel that my life has just been one giant case study. I think that my journey shows you can mess up just about everything, but as long as you believe in yourself, you have a vision, you create a plan, and you actually execute that plan, you can achieve anything you desire. I'm not gifted, and I don't have any special skills. I'm just a normal guy. If I can achieve what I did, and I can now live my life with a purpose, so can you.